everyone, Jesterbell is back, and something tragic happened. Are you ready for it? So they're apparently doing fan screenings for the Batman 2 days early on March 1st around the country. You know, obviously, to get the fans they know are going to be positive in there to spread positive word about the movie. And I, apparently, since I followed the Batman on Twitter, the official movie web Twitter page, verified, and that I've been tweeting some very positive things about the Batman and my excitement, I got an invite to go see the Batman on a fan screening on March 1st. The tragedy, I probably cannot go because it's only in IMAX theaters. The nearest IMAX theater is about an hour and a half away from my house, and it's on a weekday, so and at 7 o'clock, and so that would be an hour and a half to get there, and then an hour and a half driving in the dark to get back, and it basically just does not work out with my work schedule or others' work schedule who'll be going with me, so I probably cannot go, which is tragic because I've always wanted to be invited to a fan screening. It would be amazing to go. Well, I'll give an update. As of now, it looks like I can't go, but I'll give an update and I'll do a video if I'm able to go. And to do a first reaction to that movie would be amazing. But such is life. Maybe because of me running maybe it's a good sign of my Twitter page and my YouTube channel gaining a little bit more that I was invited to this, but even though traffic's been a little slow lately, but I'll let you guys know if I'm able to go. After all, it would be amazing to do an early reaction video to that movie, but this video is more or less about, regardless of when I see it, what are my expectations for this movie? And I want to hear what your expectations for it are down below. First and foremost, it seems like a movie that's too good to be true, because it's like they've gone and just done everything that I would want for a Batman movie. I do think that something similar to the Nolan take, something that's trying to be accurate to a lot of comics but then going its own way, I think that is the way to go. I just want more comic book elements into Batman than Nolan, which was trying to do an uber realistic take. But this one does seem to have a lot more comic book elements. Some things are taken out, like Edward Nygma has to be Edward Nashton. The suits, according to rumors, Catwoman and Riddler aren't fully formed or fully called. Catwoman isn't officially Catwoman yet. They might not get their official suits in this movie, so we'll see how that happens. I do agree with Slick Moth's take that this is just kind of another example of a Batman trilogy turning into the director's take on Batman, other than definitive Batman. But just so far, it just seems like it's a perfect mix to me of taking elements from a director's vision and mixing it with comic book elements. It just seems like everything you would want from a Batman property, where there's realistic elements, there's fantastical elements, and then there's horror elements. Matt Reeves has done horror. He did Cloverfield. And I love horror as well, and I love that element of Batman that has been a part of the comics, and so I'm just really looking forward to it. And it's just like all the people who were cast in this movie, I was skeptical of everybody. Skeptical of Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Andy Serkis, but I have just slowly been won over on them all, especially Colin Farrell's Penguin. Looks and sounds amazing. It's incredible, but do you guys think that this is too good to be true? And I'm wondering that because I think that this movie that's coming out is going to be perfect. I think it's going to blow us away. I think it's going to have. I'm honestly raising my expectations for the box office because, in the past we saw this, but because of various circumstances, smaller movies were getting smaller at the box office and bigger movies were getting bigger. And I think that coronavirus has ironically just amplified that. Spider-Man No Way Home was massive, everything else tanked below it. And The Batman is a bit like Spider-Man No Way Home. While I don't think it'll get to that level, it is one of the few movies, one of two movies I would say, that has legitimate hype. No Way Home and The Batman are the only two movies that have come out post-COVID that have had this legitimate amount of hype around them. And so I really do think that this movie is going to crack $1 billion. It has been noted that The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises both cracked $1 billion. I think that this could be the highest grossing Batman movie of all time, even with COVID, if it lives up to expectations, because of how the market has amplified superhero movies and Batman since then, and how much money people will say to see these, and Batman fans will see this movie multiple times. I guarantee it. So I think it's going to do huge. I think that everything in this movie is set up for success. I'm a bit concerned about what's going to happen after it, though. Um, I don't know if I've talked about this very much on this channel, but there's other rumors that have come out. There's the rumors that there will be 3 Dick Graysons produced by WB, one on Titans, one in the Batgirl universe, one in the Batman universe, and I'm not sure how I feel about that as much as I want to see Robert Pattinson with a Dick Grayson, someone playing Dick Grayson. There's rumors that the Joker, it's pretty much confirmed that Barry Keoghan's going to make a very, very brief cameo as the Joker at the end of this movie, but I've also been reading that they're going to, at least for now, regulate him to the Gotham PD TV series on HBO Max and have him be the main villain of that show. And I'm not sure about that because they keep advertising these streaming service series as just as high quality as the movies, but they haven't been delivering on that level. And with Terrence Winters leaving for creative differences, that's never a good sign. And that was one of the big sells of the show. And I don't really like the idea of them just. As much as I do agree with some people that there's been a lot of Joker lately, I think that would be a huge mistake to take him away from where he's mainly sold in the movies and just smash him into HBO Max. Because what's likely going to happen is it's not going to drive subscribers to HBO Max because most things haven't. It's just going to make that version more overlooked. And I just have a bad feeling about not keeping good characters in the Batman universe and regulating them to the HBO Max. Though it could also turn out to be a good thing if this rumor is true, if Gotham PD as a series, which is meant to explore different villains, that was a rumor early on, works out, then that means that we could have a lot of different villains introduced into this Matt Reeves universe that we wouldn't have otherwise gotten, and that could be a good thing. But I'm just not sure about it, and I'm not sure about how this is going to go forward as its own universe. Someone suggested that if this movie does hugely well, then this could be a spin-off for the new DC movie universe, which I think should be called something different than DCEU, and I'd be all for that. But then DC just hasn't showed that it has a great track record with running a multiverse, and I think that's where it gets sketchy, because they understand how to do the Batman and Batman properties, but it always messes up when they try to handle Superman and Wonder Woman and the expanded universe. So the Batman might have a lot of weight on its shoulders if it's meant to spin off all these other properties then, and that would also make me concerned. So as of now, I'm like 10 out of 10 hype for this movie. I hope I can still go on that night early, but I'm just worried about how they're going to handle it going forward. And could this be too good to be true, and are they going to mess it up again? Because they've messed it up before. I trust Matt Reeves at this point because I think that he's hit all the right marks. I don't like him as a director as much as Nolan, but he seems to be doing a great job with this, and he seems to have a very good judgment that other people couldn't see. But I'm just worried about the expanded universe things, the handling of other characters, and the handling of this versus the regular DCEU stuff, and if that's going to mess everything up. So, what are your expectations for the Batman? Is it too good to be true? Do you think that we're finally getting a great thing here? How much do you think it'll do at the box office? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.